I'm Joni from Ruby Webs, and today I'm going to show you how to make my Lainey Lounge socks in a woman's medium size, which should fit a woman's shoe size of 7 to 9.5. The full written pattern includes 3 women's sizes, small, medium, and large, and I've included the link for you in the comments section below. The sock is worked in the round from the toe all the way up to the cuff, and this makes it really easy to customize the length. The chain 1 at the beginning of each round does not count as a stitch, and at the end of each round you will slip stitch in the top of the first stitch to join. For yarn, you'll want about 1 to 2 skeins of your main color. I'm using Yarn Bee Easygoing in the color Cottage Rose. I just love how soft this yarn is, and it also washes and dries really well. And you will also need a small amount of a contrasting color for the toe, heel, and cuff, and I'm using the color Frosting. You will need a G 4.25 millimeter crochet hook or hook needed to meet gauge, and we will check our gauge at the end of round 4. You will also need just basic supplies like a tape measure, scissors, and a yarn needle. We will start by making the toe with color 1, so make the magic ring. We're going to make a chain 1 and then work 7 single crochet into the ring. So chain 1, and then place 7 single crochet into the ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and we're going to pull our tail to close the ring, and then we're going to make a slip stitch in the top of our first single crochet. So you should have 7 single crochet at the end of round 1. In round 2, we are just working 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So you should end with 14 stitches. So chain 1, work 2 single crochet into that first stitch. So there's 1 and 2, and we are just placing 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So we are adding another 7 stitches to our stitch count. And after you have 14 stitches, you will slip stitch in the top of the first stitch to join. Okay, and this is what round 2 should look like when finished. You should have 14 stitches. In round 3, you'll make a single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and then just repeat that all the way around, and you will end with 21 stitches. So start with a chain 1, single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and then just repeat that all the way around. In round 4, we will just make a single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and just repeat that all the way around. So chain 1, single crochet in the first 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the next stitch. Just repeat this all the way around, and you will end with a total of 28 stitches, and this will be our last round of increases. This is what round 4 should look like when finished, and we're now going to measure our gauge. So it should measure 2 1/4 inches across. And if yours is measuring larger than that, then try moving down to an F hook, and if you're getting smaller than that, try moving up to an H hook. So for round 5, you are just going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and then round 6 and 7, you will just repeat round 5. So I'm going to work through that off camera, and I will be back at the very end of round 7. I'm at the end of round 7, and I have 1 stitch left to work into. We are going to switch to color 2 at the end of this stitch. So insert your hook into this stitch, yarn over, pull through your work. Now drop color 1, grab color 2, and we're going to yarn over with color 2, and then you will join to the top of your first stitch with color 2. So make a slip stitch, okay, and I am going to trim off color 1 because I won't be using that again until I make the cuff. So for round 8, we will begin with the chain 1, and then we are just going to skip the first stitch and make 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. We'll do that all the way around. So skip over that first stitch, make 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. There's 1 and 2. Skip the next stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. So there's 1. We're just going to do this all the way around, and 2. to skip over the next to the last stitch and place my last 2 half double crochet in the last stitch, and then I will slip stitch in the top of the first stitch to join. In round 8, we worked clusters of 2 half double crochet all the way around, and in round 9, we will be working clusters of 2 half double crochet into the space at the center of the cluster. So this is the top of the first stitch, and this is the top of the second stitch. We will be working under, there's a third loop under that second stitch, and that is where you will work the 2 half double crochet. So in the written pattern, I refer to this space as the cluster space. So place 2 half double crochet into the cluster space of the first cluster of half double crochet. So there's 1. And 2. And the 2 half double crochet should sit directly on top of the 2 half double crochet from the previous round. So let's do 2 more. So spread the stitches apart, go under that third loop, and work 2 half double crochet into that space. There's 1. And 2. So this is what it should look like. You can see they sit right on top of the 2 half double crochet from the previous round. We're just going to do this all the way around. I'm coming to the end of the round, and I will place 2 half double crochet in the cluster space of the last cluster, and then I will slip stitch in the top of the first stitch to join. For round 10, we are just repeating round 9, so you will just place those 2 half double crochet in that cluster space, just like we did in round 9. So chain 1, work 2 half double crochet into that cluster space. Those 2 half double crochet should sit directly on top of the 2 half double crochet from the previous round. So we're just repeating round 9. So I'm going to keep working and I will be back when I get to the end of round 10. This is what round 10 should look like when finished. Continue to repeat round 9 until your sack measures 6 1/4 to 6 1/2 inches long. I worked a total of 25 rounds for the last pair of sacks that I made. If possible, try the sack on. It should reach the top of your foot where your foot meets the ankle. And when I get to that point, I will show you what the sack looks like on my foot. My sack is measuring approximately 6 1/2 inches long, and now I'm going to go try it on. This is what my sack looks like on, and I'm now ready to move on to round 26, where we will make the space for the heel. Begin with the chain 1. Place 2 half double crochet in the next 7 cluster spaces. Be sure you have 7 clusters of 2 half double crochet. We are now going to make a chain 14, and I like to place a stitch marker in my first chain and the last chain, just to make it easier to see where that first chain and last chain, where those are in the next round. So chain 14, and be sure you make your chain kind of loose and try not to get it twisted. Right, I'm going to place another stitch marker in the last chain. We are going to skip over 14 stitches and slip stitch in the top of the first stitch to join. So slip stitch in the top of the first stitch. You are ready to move on to round 27. For now, we're not going to work into this area back here. This is where the heel will be. Chain 1 and place 2 half double crochet in the next 7 cluster spaces. skip the next chain, and then you're going to place 2 half double crochet in the next chain. You're just going to do that all the way to the end. So I'm going to remove this stitch marker. So I'm going to skip over that chain, place 2 half double crochet in the next chain. Skip the next chain, place 2 half double crochet in the next chain. We're just going to do this all the way to the end of the round. Skip the next chain, 2 half double crochet in the next chain. And at the end of this round, you should still have 28 stitches. Skip the next chain, 2 half double crochet in the next chain. We are just about to the end of the round. Skip the next chain, 2 half double crochet in the next chain. Skip the next to the last chain, and you'll place 2 half double crochet in that last chain, and I had marked that with a stitch marker to make it easy to see. And then we are just going to join with a slip stitch to our first stitch. I am on to round 28, and we are just going to start repeating round 9. So just place 2 half double crochet in each cluster space around, and then slip stitch in your first stitch to join. From rounds 29 to 43, you are just going to keep repeating round 9. As you work your way up the shin, definitely try the sock on from time to time. If it starts to feel a little snug, go up a hook size. If it feels too loose, then go down a hook size. Adjusting as you go will help you get the perfect fit. So I'm going to continue working off camera, and I will be back to show you how to make the cuff. I am at the end of round 43, and I have 2 stitches left. And on the last stitch, I am going to switch to color 1. So work those last 2 half double crochet into that last cluster space. And now I will drop color 2, and I am going to yarn over with color 1. Then we will just join with color 1 to the first stitch, and we will start on the cuff. For round 1, you will begin with a chain 1, and you will just place 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Be careful you don't make them too tight. Then you will just slip stitch in your first stitch to join. For round 2, we are just alternating between the waistcoat stitch and a back post double crochet. You'll just repeat that all the way around, so chain 1. Insert your hook into the V of that stitch and make a single crochet. That's the waistcoat stitch. And then back post double crochet in the next stitch, and your single crochet should look stacked on top of the one from the previous round. So yarn over, insert your hook from back to front to back, yarn over, pull through your work, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a back post double crochet. So waistcoat stitch in the next stitch. Oops. Careful you don't make these too tight, or it will be hard to place those stitches the next round. Back post double crochet in the next stitch. This is what it should look like so far. Waistcoat stitch in the next stitch. Back post double crochet in the next stitch. We're just going to do this all the way around. Yeah, be very careful you don't make your waistcoat stitches too tight, or your cuff will be too tight and it will be hard to place those stitches in the next round. For the remainder of the cuff, you're just going to keep repeating round 2. So this is what mine looks like at the end of round 2, and I'm going to keep working. I do recommend trying your sock on at this point. Make sure your cuff isn't too tight. You can always move up to an H hook if needed. I just finished with my cuff, and this is what it should look like. And after we finish the heel, we'll turn the sock inside out, and I'm just going to weave my loose ends in then. But we're ready to begin this heel section. So what we are going to do is we are going to place 2 half double crochet in each cluster space along the base of the heel. We'll do a single crochet at each corner, and then we'll do 2 half double crochet in each cluster space along the top of the heel. And you should have 7 clusters along the base and 7 along the top. And when we work along the top of the heel, you don't want to place your stitches just above the chain. You're actually going into the space between the 2 stitches that's just above the chain. And you can always place like a stitch marker in each cluster right before each corner to make it easier to see if you need, but that's totally optional. So you will need 2 stitch markers, and we are going to use color 1 for the heel. So we will attach our yarn in the 4th cluster space from either side. So there's 7 along the base of the heel. So count 4 over and attach your yarn into that cluster space. Okay, so we are going to work 2 half double crochet in the first 4 cluster spaces. And we've been doing this whole pattern, just working into that same space. So chain 1, work 2 half double crochet into that first cluster space, and then into the next 3 cluster spaces. Let me zoom in. Okay, so this is what it should look like so far. Okay, so you should have a total of 8 half double crochets so far. We're going to turn and we're going to make a single crochet into this corner. And then we'll place a stitch marker in that stitch. We're going to turn. Now we are going to work into all of these cluster spaces along the top of the heel opening. And again, you're going above the chain into this space up here. So there's my first cluster. There's my second. So I've worked 3 so far. Here's my 4th. So we have 3 left along the top of the heel, right? These 3 right here. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. Okay, so this is what it should look like so far. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clusters along the top of the heel. Now we're going to turn and we're going to work a single crochet into this corner. And place a stitch marker in that stitch. Then we have 3 clusters left to work into along the base of the heel. So work 2 half double crochet into that cluster space and the next 3 clusters along the base of the heel. Okay, we are at the end of round 1, so just slip stitch in the first stitch to join. Okay, so this is what round 1 should look like when finished. You should have 7 clusters of 2 half double crochet along the bottom for 14 stitches, a single crochet at each corner, and then 7 clusters of 2 half double crochet along the top. So you should have a total of 30 stitches at the end of round 1. In round 2, We will start with a chain 1, and then we will place 2 half double crochet in the first 4 cluster spaces, single crochet in the mark stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next 7 cluster spaces, a single crochet in the mark stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in the last 3 cluster spaces. So you will end again with a total of 30 stitches. Going to place a stitch marker in that single crochet. And then place 2 half double crochet in the next 7 cluster spaces along the top of the heel. Okay, single crochet in that mark stitch. Place a stitch marker in that stitch. And then 2 half double crochet in the last 3 cluster spaces. You slip stitch in your first stitch to join. Okay, and that is round 2. So you should have worked a total of 7 clusters along the bottom, 7 along the top, and then a single crochet at each corner. In round 3, you will make a chain 1, and you will work 2 half double crochet in the next 3 cluster spaces, half double crochet in the next stitch, and then you will work a single crochet 3 stitches together. You will place a stitch marker in that stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in the next 5 cluster spaces. Then you'll make a half double crochet in the next stitch. Then you will work a single crochet 3 together with the next 3 stitches, and then you'll place a stitch marker in that stitch, and then work a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in the last 2 cluster spaces, and then you will join. So let me show you how to do this. So chain 1, place 2 half double crochet in the first 3 cluster spaces, so So there's one, second cluster, and then the third cluster. Okay, so you should have 3 clusters of 2 half double crochet. You're going to make a half double crochet in this next stitch. Then we are going to make a single crochet 3 together. So we'll be working into these 3 stitches here. So remove your stitch marker, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through your work. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through your work. You should have 3 loops on your hook. And then insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through your work. So you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Then we're going to place a stitch marker in the top of that stitch. Okay, half double crochet in the next stitch, which is this stitch right here. Okay, work 2 half double crochet in the next 5 clusters, or cluster spaces, sorry. So there's my first cluster. There's my second. Third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so half double crochet in the next stitch. That's this stitch right here. And then single crochet 3 together with the next 3 stitches. Place a stitch marker in that stitch. Half double crochet in the next stitch. And then we are going to place 2 half double crochet in each cluster space for the last 2 clusters. Okay, and then we are ready to join with a slip stitch to our first stitch. And that is round 3. So you should have a total of 26 stitches at the end of round 3. For round 4, you will make a chain 1. You will work 2 half double crochet in the next 3 cluster spaces, a single crochet 3 together, and then 2 half double crochet in the next 5 cluster spaces, a single crochet 3 together, and then 2 half double crochet in the next 2 cluster spaces, and then you will join. And you should end with a total of 22 stitches at the end of round 4. So chain 1, 2 half double crochet in the next 3 cluster spaces, single crochet 3 together. So we'll be working with this stitch, and this stitch. place a stitch marker back in that stitch. So now 2 half double crochet in the next 5 cluster spaces. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, single crochet 3 together with the next 3 stitches. That's this stitch, and this stitch. Place a stitch marker back in that stitch. And then work 2 half double crochet in the last 2 cluster spaces. So there's 1 and 2. Slip stitch in the first stitch to join, and that is round 4. And again, you should end with a total of 22 stitches at the end of round 4. We are on to round 5, and this is the last round that we will make for the heel. So we will start with the chain 1. We will work 2 half double crochet in the next 2 cluster spaces, a half double crochet in the next stitch, then single crochet 3 together, a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in the next 3 cluster spaces, half double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet 3 together, half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in the last cluster space, and then you will join and fasten off. So chain 1, so 2 half double crochet in these first 2 cluster spaces, and then half double crochet in the next stitch. So it should look like this so far. So you're going to make a half double crochet in this stitch here, single crochet 3 together. You can remove the stitch marker and set it aside. We are done with it. So single crochet 3 together, half double crochet in the next stitch, which is this stitch here, okay, so it should look like this so far. And then 2 half double crochet in the next 3 cluster spaces, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Half double crochet in the next stitch, single crochet 3 together. You can set this stitch marker aside. We don't need that anymore. Half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in this last cluster space. you should end with a total of 18 stitches at the end of round 5. So now we're just going to fasten off. Okay, so it should look like this. Okay, so now you're just going to flip your sack inside out, weave in all of your loose ends, and then I will be back to show you how to slip stitch the edges of the heel together. Be sure that your sack is turned inside out. So I just wove in all of my loose ends, and you'll notice there's like a little hole here at the corner. So I just threaded my yarn needle with matching yarn with my color 1, and I'm just going to kind of weave this little hole closed. I'm going to tie a little knot here, but I'm not going to pull it super tight, just a little bit. Kind of close that hole. Okay, and you'll do the same thing on the other side if you see like a hole at the corner. And that looks a little better. Okay, so now we are ready to close the 2 edges. We are going to slip stitch these together. Grab my yarn. Okay, I'm going to insert my hook here at this corner and attach your yarn with a slip stitch. Sorry. Okay, make a chain 1. We are going to work through the back loop on this front edge of this stitch, and then we will insert our hook into the front loop of this stitch on the back edge and make a slip stitch. So into the back loop, and then into the front loop of that first stitch, make a slip stitch. We're just going to do this all the way down. So into the back loop of that next stitch on the front edge, and into the front loop of the stitch on the back edge, and make a slip stitch. And you will do this all the way down until the heel is closed. Okay, then fasten off when you get to the end. Okay, so you're going to weave in your loose ends, and then I'm going to do that off camera, but then you will turn your sack so the right side is facing. I still need to weave in this end here too. Okay, and this is what it should look like. Let me This is what the sack should look like when finished. Don't forget to make another sack. And I hope you've enjoyed the pattern. Thank you so much.